what is to be ultimately experienced, Papa says, bliss, Anandam. The moment we hear about the word Anandam, all of us have some idea about happiness. Because we say we are happy to see you, happy to be gone through this particular experience. We have got some but it is all dependent upon some objects, some persons, some situation. In order that we are not carried away by all these things, Papa defines it as objectless happiness. It is very difficult to conceive that, because so far we have learned only happiness as something which is dependent upon objects, persons, situations. But here he rules it out completely. That bliss is nothing but objectless happiness. Only by going inward, no amount of our jugglery of words can give us some clue about this. Because the sense of individual, moment it becomes predominant, it brings all these things into the fore. So we have to see for ourselves now, how do I get myself freed from objects, persons, situation. Even during our waking hours, 15 to 16 hours, suppose we can set apart 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, withdrawing ourselves from all fields of activities, not only physical but also mental. We might get some idea about what Papa has defined. So the suggestion has come from Papa that when we keep on chanting the Ram Naam with the right perspective means we are chanting the name of one who is within us, who is making us to chant. He is making us to chant. He is making us to say these words. So when we try to go with these inward, to understand this word, to understand that He is making me to say, He is making me to chant, He is making me to see, then automatically we can infer that we are withdrawing from all the fields of activities. And what remains, which cannot be explained, which is not dependent upon anything. Only up to this we can explain. No? Because the moment we offer any other explanation, it is related to persons, objects, and situation. We need not think of withdrawing from anything, but we should withdraw during our day, whenever we are provided with an opportunity by Him. Just close our eyes, mentally repeat Ram Naam, trying to hear where from it is coming, and then pray to Him to make us aware of His presence. And then the outcome, we can say the outcome will be what Papa has defined. beyond that, if we start explaining, we are nowhere near the truth.
Thank you, Swamiji.
That means you have to set ourselves on a process. Even with this for 10 minutes or 15 minutes.
அது நினைச்சாலே சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு. Objectless happiness நம்மளுக்கு the thought itself gives up. அந்த மாதிரி நம்மளுக்கு கிடைக்க நம்ம பிரயத்தனம் பண்ணணும்.
அவர் பெருமை.
சுவாமிஜி ரொம்ப உங்களுக்கு தொந்தரவு பண்ற ரொம்ப எங்களுக்கு கஷ்டமா இருக்கு சுவாமிஜி. உங்களுக்கு இப்படி தொந்தேன் த்ரோட் அது.
Anything else? Anything else?
Swamiji, one devotee want to tell you something. Yeah, yes. Yes. I have a question. She has a question. That is, Papaji says that we can attain the truth in a state of deep silence. And the deep silence, we have to keep practicing. But that requires solitude, which means withdrawal from the world. So how to balance being in the world and withdrawing from the world? Because it doesn't come just half an hour here and half an hour there. It needs long hours.
From what Papa has shared with us, from his own experience, just we try to understand it through how did we learn the cycle. When we wanted to have the balance, we prioritized. We withdrew from our usual field of activities. And then the balancing power which is inherent in us came out. Then we got the balance. And afterwards, it remains with us. So from this we can try that it is true, we have to withdraw from every activity for a period. And what for? Not for withdrawing. To exclusively concentrate upon this subjective subject. So that is why this mental chanting of Ram Nam has been prescribed. So when we chant Ram Nam vocally, try to hear our own chanting. Then we move to the mental chanting. And when we hear, a stage comes when we know that we are chanting. Then who is knowing and who is chanting? Papa beautifully puts it as the witness consciousness. The moment we come to realize that the witness consciousness is there, not during that particular moment. Again we try for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Again we try after 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Like that, when we keep on trying it, every time when we mentally chant, we try to become aware of that witness consciousness. These are not the correct expressions, but we can only go up to this limit. And when this comes, we later on realize that this witness consciousness is ever with us. Not only when we receive, but also when we are active. Then only, as Papa puts it beautifully, it becomes a comprehensive experience, not a partial experience. In his case, when he was chanting, when he was trying to meditate, he did not in Tiruvannamalai, he was prompted to take to solitude for the first time, according to what we understand from his books. And that 21 days gave him a wonderful experience. But before that, he had prepared himself. You and I, suppose we straight away go and start for solitude, the mind may not behave well. The mind will be on various plans, objects, our concepts, or our past experience, or the mind that we try now to prepare our mind through constant chanting, mental chanting. Prepare our equipment for that. And then for a time we withdraw and really make use of it. There is no use of telling that solitude, solitude, solitude. Before we go to the solitude, we should know how to make use of the solitude. Otherwise, the mind will be as unruly as it has been. So during our busy time also, we try to practice this, so that at the appropriate time the prompting will come and he will arrange it in such a way that we make use of the solitude to the fullest benefit of ours. And then during that period, we get this balance. Even now when we are talking, behind the thought, which is expressed in the form of the thought, there is that base. And then the entire thing is going on. So from what we have learned from Papa's life and experience, we first prepare ourselves for withdrawing ourselves, try to get with an idea to get balance, He is there in the manifested form, he is there in the unmanifest form. But first we have been told that we should capture that experience where we become aware that the manifested and the unmanifest are there. Otherwise it becomes one-sided. So he prepared himself for 2 years, and the 2 years was chanting God's name, at the same time doing the inward journey also simultaneously. along with whatever activities that were going on. And when the subtle and mysterious power God gave him the prompting that it is time for him to plunge, to take a plunge. And when he took the plunge, when he reached Tiruvannamalai, same prompting came from within to go for solitude. And that during the solitude, he had that vision, that universal vision means not outward vision, inner vision, universal vision, the touch of the cosmic principle, which is aware of. So this is how he has put it. Now all of us have to try and find out our own method. Silence is the one which we have to experience. So that upon the silence is the core of our being. Silence in the sense, receding from all activities. But at the same time, we can't be away from the activities. So then we look at the biographical sketches of masters, how they have scaled. Then we find, in Puja Mataji's case also, Papa made her to chant, involve herself in various activities so that the dominance of me and mine get reduced. And then she had no inclination to sit and go inward. Then Papa made her to sit. And then she complained that she was feeling sleepy. Papa said, sleep. And then again, when she was persuaded, she sat. And because she had no other attraction, that means the mind has been prepared well. And it went inside. It had nothing to fall back upon, nothing to hold on. So when the last prop was also withdrawn, last prop was attachment to Papa's form. When that was also withdrawn, Papa himself writes that it went inside and became one with the core of everything. So
one question, Swamiji. Well, Mataji had no outside attractions. So it was easy for her to go inside. Inward journey was easy. For us, it was, with a roving eye on almost everything that comes under our eye. It is so very difficult to hold on to something that we don't know, that we don't see. And how can I go inward with this kind of my roving attention?
We have to keep on trying as the prompts from breathing. We cannot follow what they have done, agreed. So we have to keep on trying and pleading, appealing, crying. Why don't you please make me aware of your presence? You are there. Intellectually, I have understood. I have 100% faith in your words. That only your will prevails. Everything I have accepted. But how to make it a reality? My equipment is not fully cooperating with me. You give me some. When we intensely pray, He has assured us that our prayer will be heard. So we have to keep on trying. Each one is unique. Each one's method also has to be unique. All these things will definitely. So it is possible. It is definitely possible because Papa was also in the midst of various activities. Mataji was also in the midst of various activities. But somehow they were given the prompting to prioritize the. In our case, it is not there. It is one among the all other things, not exclusively this. That is the problem we are all facing. I want to have that remembrance. Somehow exclusively concentrate upon this particular aspect. And here Papa's assurance here that when we ardently pray for it, it will be heard.
Vishwaswaha.
That means we have to set ourselves on a process, and that process will bring out the outcome. Every now and then we go through their sadhana, their spiritual journey. Unknowingly, what we all do, we start from where they ended. We are seeing the photo of a blissful Papa there. We do not go back to 1920, and then try to travel with him. Then only we get the idea. What all prices they paid? How did they develop that exclusive concentration? How they were able to stand the temptations? So many things are there. No? That is why we keep on going through it again and again and again. So that there are some missing links in us that has to be linked. How do we know? By trying to go through their experience, we develop our own method. That is okay. But to know that it is possible, otherwise we get dispirited, dejected. But now we know, every now and then when we refer to their life, their struggle, their sadhana, then we come to know how it was kept in the full tempo. That is the purpose why they have shared everything with us. They did not keep anything with them. They shared so that for posterity, for aspirants, they will be able to bring out their own way again. Not that they will be following anybody. Papa did not follow anybody, Mataji did not follow anybody. But at the same time, the biographical sketches, when he was reading Yoga Vasishta, when he was reading Bhagavad Gita, Light of Asia, works of Swami Ramtirtha, works of Swami Vivekananda, borrowing his own words, electric atmosphere. It created an electric atmosphere where the devotion for him swelled up like anything. So that means along with that, they were also not merely doing particular one. Every now and then they were drawing the inspiration from those who have scaled the heights. In our case, we have to do this because in Papa's case, during the 2 years, how he was able to taper and then with minimum activities, outside activities, he was able to concentrate more and more on the goal to be scaled. And then finally that pushed him out. So this is the clear-cut one, clear-cut indication to all of us. So we now pray, somehow you please, I am 100% convinced that you are with me, you have been with me. But I should become aware of your presence. Just now we were sharing, that word, what is his present will, Siddhanta Swamiji as a child asked Papa, then immediately he said, Ram's will is that Ramdas should get up now, go to the carpenter shed to oversee, come back to Panchavati, and then wait for the mail. That means in every activity, in every movement, we are trying to see that it is his will alone that prevails. When we read it again and again and again, and try to contemplate upon it, oh Ajay, even this attempt on my part is also willed by you. At least for a tries, for a quarter of a second we become aware of his will. Like that we have to try. Everyone has to try in their own way. So 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes every day, suppose we set apart, it might slowly galvanize the whole thing. So we pray to him now. You have set this in motion, no doubt. But at the same time, our attraction for other things are also, you are keeping it alive. That is why we are not in a position to fully concentrate upon this. If all of us are sitting now from 3:30 to 4:30, it is an indication that he wants us to do it. He is providing this opportunity. People are situated in different parts of the world, and now this 1 hour, he causes that we should sit, and then we should apply our mind to some extent. So that means he is guiding us. He gives us the feeling that he is holding our hand, though we are not looking at him. He is holding our hand. Now let us try to look at him. We pray to him to make us to look at him. That attitude might trigger the whole thing. That is why I said, even the very, I remember you, O Lord, because you remembered me first. That particular expression Papa often quotes words of Swami Ramtirtha, because he wants us to assimilate this, that even when we say we are unable to concentrate, that is also given by him to us. Somehow we have to bring, in what way we have to bring, each one has to try. Every moment. So during our 16 or 17 hours waking state, let the sense of individuality own throughout the 15 hours, 30 minutes. At least 30 minutes we pray to him. You make us to intensely think about your presence within me. And once you give me a taste, that will definitely sustain the tempo. That Viraga Dukkha should be felt. So we should never lose our heart. We are under his protection. We are being led by him. Whether we know him or not, whether we recognize him or not, whether we worship him or not, whether we remember him or not, he has not left us. That much we are 100% clear now. Now the idea is how to make us aware of his presence. All our spiritual discipline zeroes to this now. Now when here you are there, why don't you please? Every day Mataji wanted us to go through that adorable presence, Think about it again and again and again. Adorable presence, who is within and without, above and below and all around, interpenetrating the very cells of our being. You are the eye of the eye, ear of the ear. From there, and finally he said, now and here. So that peace prayer, suppose we try to bring in, Omkarji Maharaj gave us a wonderful clue through that. I am seeing because he is there. I am talking because he is there. I am hearing because he is there. That might lead us to something noble. That is why Mataji introduced that every day we should universal prayer and this peace prayer. Universal prayer is where we commit also so many things, and we ask, whatever I do, be a fitting offering at thy holy feet, so that the dominance of me and mine gets reduced. That whatever I do, be a fitting offering at thy holy feet. Make me pure in thought, word and deed. I lay my mind at thy feet, fill it always with thy remembrance. Let thy glorious light illumine my heart. O sustainer of the world, O kind and compassionate Lord, God of gods, give me the divine vision, so that I may see you in all as all. May my life be guided and controlled by thee. Thy presence be ever with me, in me, and everywhere around me. I beg of thee, I prostrate before thee, hearken to this heartful prayer of mine. Make me thine and thine only, forever and ever. So Ramnam, universal prayer, peace prayer, every day. And at the end of the Arati program, we try to assert to ourselves, Jajjastali he manajaya maje. Wherever my mind goes, I'm seeing you. It's a commitment we are making. It's a resolve we are making. So those things, instead of repeating it as a ritual, now we will try during that quarter of a second when we repeat that word. We try to go along with the spirit behind it, the theme behind it. And the last word is very, very touching, make me thine and thine only forever and ever. So Ramanam chanting is prayer. Like that we will try every day 5 minutes, 10 minutes, individually. Not a collective, this should be done individually only. As the Benji said, we have to retire, we have to reseed, at least for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And we go through these mental exercises and see for ourselves how we are being led from stage to stage. An ardent prayer also is always necessary, but because by ourselves we cannot do it. If it was possible, already we would have done it, no? It's a truth. That we want to, but we have not been able to. That means we cannot do it by ourselves. So sense of individuality, though given by him, has its limitation. And it has been given the privilege of knowing the power behind the sense of individuality.
The mind doesn't allow us, Swamiji. Mind doesn't allow us to do. Mind doesn't allow us to do it, Swamiji.
We have to devise some method. What method we have to? What methods? A beautiful bhajan. We have to go along with the theme. Ramnam, anything, we look at the figure of any chosen deity or guru. We have to devise some method. Whatever is okay. There is no fixed direction, because individual to individual changes. Even after coming back from the 1 year yatra, when he was in the cave, when he felt that his mind is roaming about, and when he cried, what did he get the answer? Why are you separating me? And from that day onwards, Papa was free from that tension. So even after so much of struggle, if Papa had to feel that, what about us? We may be giving 1% of our attention to this, 99% outside. Whereas he gave 98% or 99%, only 1% was out. So then we understand, okay, unless and until you make us to exclusively concentrate on you, my progress will not be felt as progress, okay. So now I plead with you through prayer, through Nam, through bhajan. How long should I wait? No? That bhajan, no? It can touch and kindle such thing. When Swami Vivekananda sang that, will my life be a waste? How many days I have to struggle for this? Like that, any bhajan that touches and kindles, that gives us some inexplicable pleasant feeling in us. We try to fan it as much as possible. Again, when we are in activity, it gets punctured. Agreed. All of us are facing that problem. But then we come to know, that's why that all these bhajan, Ramnam, biographical sketches of masters, prayers, subservience to that power, the cumulative effect of all these will definitely give us, that is what our masters have assured us. Because me and mine is the greatest obstacle. Me and mine is not an obstacle. Me and mine assuming the role of absolute authority, no? Me and mine realizing that it is a relative reality, there is no problem. When it feels I am the deciding factor, I am the planner, I am the enjoyer, I am the sufferer, I am the owner, then the problem comes to us. That we have understood now. So let us not condemn the sense of individuality. The sense of individuality. Some other sound. So we try to understand all these things, bring all these things. These are all inward journey. When you go through the every now and then, suppose we go through the heart borings, the last portion of the Inquest of God. Papa wanted all of us to go through it again and again. The inner struggle to get ourselves stabilized. Even after 2.5 years or 3 years of ardent, exclusive struggle. So we can say a dialogue with him for a few minutes, mental chanting of Ramnam, contemplating upon the subtler aspects of spiritual journey, remembering the journey that has been traversed by our masters, and cap it everything with a prayer. This is the package we can try. 10 to 15 minutes every day. Are we in a position to set apart 10 or 15 minutes every day? That is the first test for all of us. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. First we make a beginning from there. Are we in a position to set apart 5 or 10 minutes where we try to bring all these, and whichever suits, whichever gives us a push in our journey, we try to do it more and more. Mental chanting of Ramnam, trying to feel his presence there, then having a dialogue with him, placing ourselves frankly with him, even writing letters to him, then tearing it off. Some device by which the communication is built. And then prayer, biographical sketches of the masters. All these things, 1 or 2 bhajans. The bhajan should touch and kindle. The prayer should touch and kindle. Not that we are enjoying it for the hear. Suppose we hear some music. Naturally we enjoy it. But after that what happens? But now so we try to go the lyrics, and it was a revelation of their experience. Very often when we saw this, Sant Tukaram movie taken in 1937, it is there in the YouTube. Once it was shown to us. What struck to us first was Tukaram's that bhajan, Adi Bija. So that means, when he facilitates us to see that, first to check up what is it that touches and kindles in us. The entire essence of the spiritual journey has been brought out in the beautiful bhajan, 4-line bhajan, that's all. So like that, bhajans are there, given out by Bhaktotamas, who have scaled the heights, who have felt his presence. And their revelations. It will have a telling effect in our spiritual journey. So we choose, we pray to him, give us this package, 10 to 15 minutes every day. And see for ourselves what else he is providing. Papa has assured us that when we take one step, he will come so many steps. We believe in his words. He has given us so many activities, we have to do that, agreed. But at the same time, now he has given us an opportunity to think about all these things. And he is giving us a package now. Let us try as much as possible. Not merely hearing and going. We repeat that word, no, Papa says. Be reflective and contemplative. The more you become reflective and contemplative, the faster you reach you become aware of the springs of life. So not merely outwardly hearing and going. We try. And when we find it's difficult for us to try, we plead. And Papa says, he cried, where is rest, where is peace? He cried literally, that's what he has written. And the cry and the prayer was heard. Such a situation has not come to us, agreed. So we have not been pushed to that extent, so the intensity will be less. But now at least he has given us that we have to reach. That at least he has given us now,
Swamiji, we have reached the stage of being curious.
Eh?
We have reached the stage of being curious.
So
Not the burning desire.
We should somehow make use of it, Let us not, what do you call, puncture the enthusiasm. Keep it up. For that also we need his grace, agreed. So that means our prayer should be there. And here, Papa Mataji have given us all these things, beautifully they have given us. Every day they wanted us this Prabhu Vishwanatha to be chanted. Unfortunately, we took it as a ritual, that's all. He gave us Ram Nam, to us that also became a ritual. Bhajan every day, 10:30 to 11:30, we took it as a ritual. We concentrated on who will do bhajan, what bhajan, that's all. We sang well, the accompaniment was good, that's all. None of us were prompted to enjoy the theme behind each and every. Every day we repeat prayer. So now we know. And the last word, Jajyastalihe. Somebody sent an email to us where the struggle of the aspirant was clearly mentioned, like what we are discussing now. So at that time, when in our reply, we said we only pray to him, you make us to commit every day that wherever my mind goes, I am seeing you only. But I am not in a position to do that. Please. Every day I am repeating. But when I see others as others only, not as a part of you. So when we wrote that, the devotee replied that yeah, it was great. That answers every question in ours. Because we are committing every day. At the time of leaving the Arati, the last word, Jajya Stali He Marajaya Maje, Jajya Stali He Nijarupa Tuje, Me Devi Do, Vastagata Tikani, Tete Tuye, Sadguru, Pai Doni. With that we say, Asasoma, Sadgavya, Tamasoma, Jyotirgavya. So now we try to apply our mind more and more on it. I am every day committing to Papa that I will see everybody as you. But what am I doing? I immediately, all my likes and dislikes, my whatever limitation I have, that comes in place. Though this goes on at the superficial level. One day that will definitely. That is why Mataji wanted us to repeat. The other day, she made us to remember her words. 11 times, in quest of God, I want you to read so that you will try to understand the Nirguna Brahman. And you will try to go inward. Not that after the 11th you will realize Papa. But you will have trained your mind to go inward. After reading that, previously we also have read 11 times in ashram itself. That was also a ritual. But with this background, when we read 11 times and we plead, Papa, in spite of my reading, you have not made me to go within you. Again, it floats on the superficial plane. Like that, that is what Mataji wanted us. So now we are trying to remember all these things. So that, the tempo is kept up. It doesn't get loosened. It's a difficult task for all of us. Because we are not exclusively sitting on it. Along with so many things, we also want to do it. Naturally, the efficiency level will not be there much. So that is why we said we set apart. Now we pray to Him. You give us at least 10 to 15 minutes every day to intensely dwell upon these things. And make us dwell upon whatever you want us to do. But these 15 minutes, you give us a package through which you make us to go through that and try to have a glimpse of your presence within us. This is what strongly he says at this moment. We have to set ourselves on a process. Somehow to bring him into the picture. We are now sitting in Shivananda Ashram in Rishikesh, in front of Mother Ganga, in front of that Neelakanta hill. So as yesterday when we came, somehow we were prompted to take up that particular portion in quest of God. So mentally we were traveling with Papa, what all he said. It gave us some inexplicable joy. Even now when we look, when we were staying in Swargashram, so we travel with him, At least we are trying to engage ourselves to be in close touch with him. To that extent, the mind is not going outside. We are not seeing it as a river or a hill. Something connected with our master's life. And because of that, it was the instrumental cause for us to know about God, to know about the indwelling reality. So like that, we try to cash as much as possible opportunity. He has provided us not to come here and sit. So like that, every day we will try our level best to associate ourselves with such thoughts. And that's why he is strongly prompting us. You travel with me right from my starting point. Then only you will be able to know the struggle. Then only you will be able to bring out discipline in your mind. Suppose we just see where after he has reached, we look at that photo. We pray to him, so many things, that's all. But it doesn't help us in our spiritual path. For that, we have to travel with him where he started. Otherwise, it stays at the superficial level. Actually, one of the devotees here was telling, when Shivanji Maharaj, Gurudev, when he came here, he goes to Kali Kambliwala, Annakshetra, collects roti. When everybody has been given, last he goes and collects 10 or 15 rotis. Then packs it and he keeps it. Every day he doesn't go to the, and every day he dips it in the Ganga water. Then give to somebody who is also there and he also eats. Suppose we are carried away by Gurudev's presence, the photo or the bhajan hall, and then when we start, we will not be able to enjoy this. But now we know, when he was prompted to take to this, what all he did, how much he withdrew himself from the usual fields of activities, and how he got stuck with this. There is no comfort zones, Zero comfort zones. With comfort zones, we are trying to, so then it gives us a meaning. When we are after comfort zones, the mind is preoccupied with comfort zones. Whereas the masters whom we revere, they were able to free themselves from the comfort zones. Later on, so many comforts were given to them, but that did not affect them. They were not clamoring for it. Today we went to where the kutia where he was staying. Very simple. Suddenly we remember. Everything was later on, when God made him to express through that form. So many people got attracted. So many people they would build palaces for him. But he was still staying in that small kutia. That gives us lot of insights. Where are we and where were they and where are we? We are also in the starting point. They were also in the starting point. We cannot just shift our mind to the comforts they enjoyed later. It is not enjoying in which they were placed later. So we have to go back to the days where they spent. We may not be able to follow, but something can be followed, Parimiti Parigraham, something like that. We will devise our own method. Limited possessions, where the mind becomes more and more concentrated upon him and him alone, where there is distractions are less and less, more of God thought, less of other thoughts, like that, we devise some method. That is why we visit certain places and then we are not seeing the scenic beauty. We are trying to travel with them. How the same place was instrumental for an individual to blossom. And today, even after 61 years, he continues to be the perennial source of inspiration for lakhs and lakhs of people around the globe. Just as seeing. So today the message he gives us clear. That we have to prioritize, number one, set apart 10 or 15 minutes every day exclusively for this. Devise a package by which the mind is trained. All these things are given by Him. We should know that we are not planning. Even these attempts, these thoughts, these promptings are given by Him. And every such attempt is coupled with or followed by awareness that He has given us this prompting. He is giving us a package to remember Him. He is facilitating us. He is pushing us. Like that we start thinking. And we have been assured that He will definitely take us. There is an article called Call on the Lord, in Divine Life, where this assurance comes. So let us try to assimilate all these thoughts, and try to put ourselves on a process. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.